Hello, good afternoon. I apologise for, well, I'm not really late. I feel like that was quite actually on time. But I literally just got home 10 minutes ago from work, so I do apologise if there is anything missing, but I think we're good. I think we're good to go. And we've only got an hour until the deadline, so I will try and answer as many questions as possible, but I also need to try and sort out my own team because, you know, I can't really do what I wanted to do anymore. So yeah, that's kind of what my plan is, but again, yeah, I will try and answer as many questions as possible in the hour that we do have. Matt, hello. Noah, afternoon. We've got a couple questions already. No chips left. Can be asked where Koundé, Yildiz or Elise. I would go Yildiz if you have Kane. And between Cambiasso and Koundé, I think it's pretty much a 50-50 for those two. I think I would pick Cambiasso personally. It looks as though Mbappe is completely out. I think the best replacement, if you don't have Kane, is probably going to be Guirassy. If you want the budget, then I think Jonathan David's a really nice option as well. Between Rafinha and Yildiz, I think I'd go Yildiz though. For Sparta's question, got Kane and Guirassy, so Mbappe to Lewandowski or David. I would probably go David. I think there's a decent chance that Lewandowski doesn't start. John, hello mate. It does look as though Mbappe's injured though, unfortunately, so I think for me it's going to be something like this, and then I'll maybe still make that move to Jonathan David. I'm going to be very worried about Guirassy this week though. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I think David could do decently. I think personally I would rather, instead of doubling up on Juventus, you know, spread that a little bit more. But I don't have the money in the bank, so that's an unfortunate one. I definitely don't want to go off the two premium strikers though, but I feel like for my team that kind of makes the most sense. Nuno Mendes has made the squad as well for PSG, which is ideal. So yeah, I don't think, if I'm being honest, I think it'll be unlikely that he starts, but at the same time Lucas Hernandez, who also plays left back, is suspended. So the only other option is Beraldo. So whether he plays centre back or left back, I don't know, but I think maybe with them, you know, kind of missing the second choice left back, maybe he just gets thrown in there. Definitely not worth a transfer out, I think, because I think you would want him for both these fixtures. So for me, I'll just hope that he plays. I think with the fact that so many people have a lot of Wednesday players, you'll probably look at your team and a lot of your players play on Wednesday. If we do end up with a bench dilemma, he can just sit on the bench, which is fine. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. In terms of Chevalier, he is out as well. He is injured. But I think with the goalies, it's never really worth making that transfer unless you've got the unless you really don't need to make any moves. So I'm just going to play with Roulé this week. Increase the volume. I think that is the max that it is. I don't want to go too high. Is that might be a little bit higher? So yeah. Mbappe's situation is annoying because we all want him in matchday 7. I know. I don't really know. I think matchday 8 as well is really difficult because trying to pick, you know, one of these three strikers for matchday 8 between, you know, those three and Kylian Mbappe is going to be extremely tough, which is why the limitless looks really nice for matchday 8. But yeah, the Mbappe situation is annoying. It'll be even more annoying if he ends up perfectly fit and starts, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. I think we can have a look and see if any more news has came out with that, but I doubt it. I doubt we'll get more before the deadline, which is unfortunate. Yeah, nothing new. A couple of people talking about the volume. Is the volume okay? Some people are saying it's okay, some people are saying it's not. Mbappe, I'll show you what. And Kenda is out. Sorry, I just seen that message. Kenda is injured. Yeah, he's going to be out for the rest of the league stage. I think it's all 3 match days he'll be missing. By the way, guys, if you don't follow Jakim, he won the. Sorry, I don't know. I'm terrible with that name. If you don't follow him over on Twitter, definitely go and follow him. He won UCL Fantasy last year, and some of his threads are absolutely fantastic. Many managers have been asking for my thoughts on Mbappe. Replied to several individually. Leaning towards selling Mbappe, even if it requires a -4. Fully prepared to go without Bayern. He's Mbappe. As always, the game isn't about avoiding risk. Yeah. But yeah, definitely make sure you're following. Best Dortmund defender, I think probably is going to be Schlotterbeck. Because I think he's the most nailed, and yeah, I think there is better defenders. Like, I think Ben Sebaini overall is going to be better because he has the penalties, but don't know if he is going to start. Yeah, Anton's obviously cheaper, but you know, it's a risky one. I think Schlotterbeck is just a good all-round best pick. Between Adeyemi and Yildiz, I would pick Yildiz. I just want to make sure that this is the best team for me. As much as I really want to get Guirassy in, this doesn't feel worth it. I'm happy with this midfield. I would love to get Rafinha and see if I had the limit. Well, if I was using the limitless this week, Rafinha would probably be a great pick. But I think that front three is fine. That midfield is perfectly fine. The defence, I think, is okay as well. Yeah, I think I might just lock that in. I'll wait on some more news and then I'll lock it in about 3:15 or so. Best defender for the next 3 games. Already have a Pumecano, Chalobah, Balde, and Burn. I would probably look at potentially a Juventus defender. Could be a good option. I think Kalulu is quite a nice one. 4.5 million. In terms of the points so far, Kelly's doing well, but I think he has a bit more rotation prone. Or you could go for Cambiasso if you want, potentially more attacking threat. But I think Kalulu is a good stable option. Should I take a -4 hit for Mbappe? I mean, if a -4 hit is what you need to do, then it's what you need to do. Yeah, I think like Kane. I think having Haaland's fine. I think if you've got Kane and you've got Guirassy, like I think Mbappe probably has a sell this week. For -4 to get in Kane, I think is going to be worth it. I think Aubameyang could be a really nice option as well. Does Chan not have penalty duty as well? Only reason why I got him. Yeah, I think if Chan plays, he takes the penalties, and then if he doesn't play, then Ben Sebaini will be on the penalties, and then Guirassy can be in the penalties, but I don't know. I feel like everyone takes the penalties for Dortmund. Fermin Lopez should start, yeah. I've seen him in. I've seen 2 predicted lineups for Barca. He was in one, and he wasn't in the other, but I think the one that he was in is a little bit more reliable. Kane, Yamal, Yildiz. I think I would do all 3 of them, to be honest. Andy. Hi mate, on wildcard. Struggling, no choice to have Lewa and Guirassy. I thought I would definitely go for Guirassy. I think Guirassy and Alvarez would be better than Lewandowski. There's a decent enough chance, I think, that Ferran Torres starts over Lewandowski, so I'd just be a bit more safe with that one. I still have Hakimi, Dumfries and Gabriel. Should I sell Mbappe for a -8? That's a very tough situation to be in, but I think, yeah. Best defender for today. Today only. What have we got for clean sheet odds? Juventus being the best clean sheet odds. I suppose I would probably pick... it's a... Maybe, I mean, you could maybe go for, like, if it depending on what team, I think I would go for Kalulu from Juventus. Maybe I probably would pick Ben White, to be honest, from Arsenal. I think he's got the most attacking threat. Or Van de Ven from Spurs, I think, are some good options. I think Upamecano is really good as well. Would I keep Vitinha on a wild card? 100%. I think he's easily one of the best picks in the game. Porro or Van de Ven? I would go for Van de Ven. Do I think Merino starts? I don't know if he'll start up front, and I think if he does, there's a decent chance that Gyökeres comes off the bench quite early on. So I wouldn't really go for Merino this week. Pretty sure Leo will start. If you feel like Leo's going to start, go for it. Because it could be, you know, he's one that could go huge this week. Frankfurt are very poor. Kane, Mbappe, Guirassy, a good attack. Mbappe doesn't look like he's going to be starting, so try and get him out for someone else. But Kane and Guirassy, absolutely solid. Yeah, Jamie, I think Rashford could be a difficult one. I think he's probably one to take out for a -4 with the amount of good strikers that there are right now. Rashford doesn't look like he's going to be starting, and I think he'll slowly be like phased back into an impact sub with Rafinha back. So I think over the long run, the -4 is going to be worth it for Rashford. Gerard Martin. I feel like Gerard Martin's good for like a limitless this week, but I probably wouldn't touch that. Sorry, I think my Alexa just played in the back. I do apologise. Would you do Saka to Rafinha? I wouldn't do Saka. I think Saka's one of the best picks available this week. Choose one defender playing today other than Van de Ven. Upamecano would be the choice there. Worth to take -4 for a defender, only if it's needed. If I still had Limitless and Wildcard, when would I use them? I think the Wildcard would be good this week. And then the Limitless I would try save for either 7 or 8. If I'm honest, I think the best front three you can get, I think for this week, if I could pick any front three, I'd be picking Kane, Guirassy, and David. But I think, you know, this is a good three as well. But I think Kane and Guirassy are probably the best two, if anyone is looking for replacements for Mbappe. I'm just going to look for some more late news just in case. Hopefully there's something available. Something that helps us at all. Nah. I feel like we never really get that good late news anymore. I feel like everything comes in the morning and then it's all just kind of panic stations. But I was hoping for some more news on Mendes, some news on the Arsenal team, because I think there was some doubts over Declan Rice as well. Yeah, so I seen this one today. Saliba, Rice and Trossard not in training. Rice and Trossard training indoors. Expected to make a decision whether they travel today. So I was hoping something would have came out here. But I don't think anything is there, unfortunately. Nah, nothing new. What rank am I at the minute? I think I'm sitting 18k. Or 14k? Oh no, 18k. Yeah, 18k. 18,397th at the minute. With a limitless in the bag, I feel like that's pretty decent. I would love to get in. It's annoying because I know Guirassi's going to end up getting a hat-trick tonight because he's the most frustrating player in the world not to own. Because as soon as I own him, like for example against Copenhagen, he does absolutely nothing, and as soon as you get rid of him, it's like fucking 11 points. I think he's the highest projected goal scorer as well this week, which is frustrating. The only way I'd be able to get him in is if I sold Nuno Mendes, which I don't want to do, but there is the option there for a -3, a -4 even, sorry. To do something like that, but that leaves me with too many players playing on the 10th. I think I already did have that anyway, but I don't really want to take a -4 for that reason, so Mendes stays in here for me, I think. Then we go to Jonathan David. What does that give me? So Kane, Elise, Yamal, Upamecano and Roulette. Only 4 outfield players tonight, which means someone's definitely going to have to stay on my bench because those 3 Bayern players could easily return. And I think at that point, if I do need to leave people on the bench, it's going to be Buongiorno and Mendes. I'd love another Barca player in here, but it is what it is. Those are great fixtures for them as well. I'm trying to think if maybe like a Barca defender would actually be worth it. So I could do that, and then that would allow me to get Guirassy. And then I could do... Oh no, I can't actually do that. Damn. I need to pick another Barca defender. I don't know if I want another Barca. Balde. For a -4 though. Nah, it just doesn't feel worth it. I think I'm going to keep Mendes. Go for Jonathan David. I think that's the route for me. Mate, all Dortmund fans say Guirassy is out of form and they want to drop him for Fabio Silva. I would not be surprised if he's benched this game week with Adeyemi and Fabio Silva. See, if anyone wants Fabio Silva up front, then they've got a serious problem because that guy's ass. But I feel like, has Guirassy actually been that bad? I've got Mbappe, Dumfries, Gabriel, Trippier, Chevalier all out. 2 free transfers and no chips. I think... Sorry, I think personally I would take out Mbappe, Dumfries, and then it's tough because I feel like Mbappe, Dumfries, Gabriel and Trippier are probably all all the moves that need to happen there. So maybe a -8. I would keep Chevalier. I don't think that's definitely not needed of a hit. BVB forums have Fabio Silva 100% starting. That's mental. Right, well, I'm definitely not going to make that move then. Can also get rid of Gordon. I'm happy with Gordon. Gordon's actually one of the highest XG players in the Champions League this season. If I can pop it up here. Gordon sitting in 8th place for XG this season. Mbappe, Osimhen, Martinez, Kane, Haaland, Esposito's right up there, but I think that's because he was the one that played in the Kairat match. Ekitike, Gordon, Martinelli. It doesn't look likely that Mbappe's going to be playing no Rosso Blues, unfortunately. Still have my wild card. When's the best time to use it? I think like it's just really whenever your team needs it. I think from this point onwards, there's no real like game week. I think that's really something from the start, but moving forward, you know, like halfway through and stuff, it's just really kind of playing it with your team. Bellanova, I'll check the Atalanta lineups for you. Atalanta and Chelsea. Probable formation. Now there's your lineup for Atalanta with Bellanova in it, so yeah, he should be fine. Grimaldo will play, yeah. Harvey Barnes, I doubt it. I think he'll be on the bench. Do I think Limitless in Game Week 8 is better than Game Week 6? Only if you don't have that many injuries this week. If you've got loads of like injuries, then you can play the Limitless this week. Then it probably will be better off. What's with Mbappe? He picked up well, he wasn't in training today. I think it was a serious doubt that he said there was some sort of discomfort. For the next 3 game weeks, would you pick Van de Ven, Pacho, or Kalulu? I wouldn't pick Pacho, so it'd be between Van de Ven and Kalulu. And I probably would go for... I think I'd go for Kalulu personally. I think I'm going to lock these transfers in for... No, because I want to wait just in case something happens with Mbappe in the last... In case we get a wee bit more news. I don't even know why I'm checking the comments. I feel like Fabrizio Romano's comments are always just filled with bots. Oh, there you go. Right, so this is... I feel like this is pretty much as good as you can get for Mbappe. Very unlikely to play against Man City. Significant pain in his knee. So that is definitely going to be enough to sell him. Struggling for the 2 goalkeepers on wildcard. I think for me it'd be Joan Garcia and the Villarreal one, Junior I think his name is. I think they two look fantastic on a wildcard. Your transfers are just going to make those 2. I think so, yeah. I think I'm quite happy with the rest of it. Long term, Osimhen or Guirassy? I would pick Guirassy. I've seen one predicted lineup for Dortmund. Dortmund lineup. Dortmund XI. Nah. The one I seen was, if I go in Manu, I don't know. I don't really use these predicted lineups because I'm not 100% convinced by them a lot of the time. I feel like because they post every single lineup. But this is the one I seen today. It doesn't actually have Adeyemi in it. It doesn't actually have Schlotterbeck in it either. But yeah, I don't know how much I fully trust this one. Because it's really just a news, like it's really just a news page that posts predicted lineups. It's not like a, you know, a Borussia Dortmund page. But yeah, that one doesn't have Anton, it doesn't have Schlotterbeck, doesn't have Adeyemi, doesn't have Svensson. So take that with what you will, but that's the only thing I've seen from Dortmund. I'll have a look at this and see if there's any, but I don't think there is. Nah. Nothing on Guirassy either. That's back in November. Nah. Nothing really, unfortunately. Camavinga ruled out. Nah. Nothing more. FPL Hazard, thank you very much. I appreciate the €2. Would I take out Hakimi or Mbappe for a -4? I think both of them, honestly. I think they both come back next match day. It depends. I think Mbappe's more. I don't know actually. I think Mbappe. Do you know what I'm thinking about? It's quite tough for any of them. I think Mbappe. I think they're both probably worth taking out for a hit, if I'm honest. Yeah, because we've got 3 rounds remaining. You don't really want to be missing anyone. I think they both do come back for match day 7 because we are still 7 weeks away from match day 7. But yeah, I think with them both basically confirmed out, then yeah, I would look to move them on. Joe, good to see you. Rafinha or Yamal, can't afford both. I think Yamal is just the easier pick, but if you want to go for something like a little bit more differential, no one's got Rafinha. I think Rafinha cannot be highly owned at all. It's kind of 50-50 between them both at the end of the day. Rafinha's still owned by 17% of people. That shows you how little people actually play the game. Yeah, so it depends. It depends on your budget. If you want to save $500,000, then go for Rafinha. If you want to go for a more spicy pick, go for Rafinha. But yeah, I've obviously got Yamal in here because I've had him basically the whole time. Carl is in the predicted lineup, yeah, but I don't think he will be, a main starter in match day 7 and 8 because Musiala will be due back by then as well. So Carl looks good this week, but that's really it, I think, for me. Dumfries isn't back. He might make the squad, but that's probably as much as you're going to get. I don't think he'll be in the starting 11. Best 3 strikers on a limitless. I think Guirassy, David and Kane. But a few people seem to think Guirassy's not going to start this week. Alvarez or Fermin cap? Definitely Alvarez there. I wouldn't be captain Fermin Lopez. I think there's a lot more goals in the Barca attack now that don't have to rely on him doing well. Buy one of Guirassy, Carroll or Lewandowski. I would personally buy Guirassy. Josie, please don't spam in the chat. I will eventually get to it. You don't need to fully capitalise all your messages. And to answer your question, yes, I think Fermin will start. I think Nuno Mendes will be in the bench, personally. But he could start as well. Hopefully he does. Why not Osimhen? I just think there's better strikers available this week. It doesn't, not to say he's a bad pick at all. Let me have a look. You know, again, we were looking at the expected goals. He's sitting second for XG and he's got 6 goals in the tournament so far, so you can't say he's a bad option. Monaco isn't a terrible fixture either. I think long term though with Atletico and Man City it's not great, but yeah, definitely a decent enough option this week. And if you've got him, I'd definitely keep him. Cambiasso or Kelly? I think I would pick Cambiasso just for the guaranteed minutes. Thoughts on Rojny? I think he looks okay. It's a big differential to go for, but I think he's a decent one. I wouldn't be all in on Olympiacos this week because it is away from home. But yeah, he's always going to be a decent pick. Anyone that plays Kairat's always going to be a decent pick. I'd love to get in Bayern players. Do you recommend a hat? Only if the player you're taking out is unavailable this week. Chalobah to a Upamecano for a -4. I don't mind that. I think Chelsea have kind of bad fixtures, so I think long term that probably works out quite well for you. I don't have any Chelsea players to look at their fixtures, but I don't think that's that great. Rapid, I wouldn't transfer out Chevalier. I don't think anyone really needs to transfer out a goalkeeper. It's like, I think there's way more value in making another with 2 transfers available. I don't think you need to ever transfer out a goalie, just play with the other one. If I go Mbappe to David, I'll have so much money. Would you make a midfield upgrade? Enzo to Yamal for a -4? That's not a bad shout, Zaffods. I quite like that. Did I mess up? I did Nuno to Svensson on Dortmund, the Chevalier to Garcia, and Fermin to Rafinha. I mean, you've not made bad moves, Henry. I don't think the Chevalier move was needed for a -4. But the players you've brought in are fine. Is it okay to buy Grimaldo this week? I think he's absolutely fine. Should I bring in Calafiori for a -4? It depends who you're bringing out. I think he's a good option this week, though. I think with him suspended in the Premier League, he should be perfectly fine for this week to play. Romero and Anton starting. The one predicted lineup I've seen didn't have Anton starting. Romero will start, I'd imagine. One of Adeyemi, Yamal, or Elise for a -4. I would have Yamal personally. Vixro, I've got a full captaincy video on the channel, which you can quickly go and have a look at. It's only like 10 minutes or so, and that's got all the reasoning behind all the best captains. Let's have another look and see if we've got any more news. Nope. Radio silence again. I really want to get some sort of Juventus lineup just to confirm that Jonathan David's going to start, but Sky Sports Italy always does it on the day of the game, which is obviously tomorrow, which isn't ideal. So we've only got Inter and Atalanta today. I think I'm going to lock these moves in. Let's do that. One, two, three, four. Stick him on the bench. Stick him on the bench. Now do captain and Harry Kane tonight. I think that's the team. 5 midfielders on Limitless. I would be picking Yamal, Rafinha, Yildiz, Olise, and then maybe a little bit of a differential pick as the other one. Best 3 replacements for Gabriel. I think Upamecano. Upamecano would be your main one anyway. The others kind of, obviously you can look at the clean sheet odds over there and kind of pick your best defenders. Mbappe and Mastantuono for who? Mbappe I would try and get out for one of Haaland, Kane, or not Haaland, Kane, David, Guirassy. There's a load of options you can get for Mbappe. Mastantuono, it kind of depends on your budget. Someone's copied and pasted a message that clearly wasn't meant for this chat. Is Dumfries a sell for a -4? I would say so. I think so, yeah. Buongiorno or Kusunu? On a wild card, I think I would pick Kusunu, to be honest. On a wild card, his ball recoveries are really nice. I wouldn't take Nuno out for a -4. We got 20 more minutes till the deadline. We're only on 36 likes as well, guys. Let's see if we can get that up to 50 before 3:15. There's 223 people in the chat. We've got 36 likes so far. So let's try and get it up to 50. That means 1 in 4 people liking the stream. Would I take a -4 for Marino to Elise? Yes, personally I would, yeah. Let's quickly refresh the chat. Would I sell McTominay or Enzo to bring in Elise? I think I've seen something about McTominay potentially having some discomfort, so I think I would pick him out of anyone. I don't know how, solid that is, how bad, that is, but that's just the one thing I've seen. Yeah, I think Saka's minutes will be fine, yeah. Dinko Gregorich, the Rashford's a striker and Ferman's a midfielder, so you're not going to be able to do that move, unfortunately. Got a quick 5 minutes at work. Need to take out Gabriel and Dumfries. Who's the best options? I think Upamecano is going to be the best possible option, and then anyone from whether you want Juventus, Arsenal, Barca look nice as well. Would I take a I wouldn't take a -4 to take out Foden, no. Not in the form he's in. McTominay is a doubt. I seen one thing about McTominay. I can show you what I saw about McTominay. Again though, I don't know how much. Like, it might not even be a bad thing. Yeah, there we go. So you're perfectly fine with McTominay. There was concern yesterday. He felt discomfort, but he'll be managed in a way that allows him to be in the best possible condition, and he'll lead Napoli's midfield in Lisbon. All good. No worries about McTominay. Oh, Ferran Torres. Yeah. If you're sure that he's going to start, then yes, because I think Rashford out is definitely worth a -4. If Ferran Torres is a striker you want to go for, then yeah, go for it. Best 2 goalkeepers on a Limitless. I would be going for De Gregorio and probably Raya or Vicario. I don't know what the days actually they play on. Maybe you have to go for someone else. I would go for Joan Garcia and De Gregorio. That would be my 2 goalies on a Limitless, I think. I can't remember what I've done in the Limitless video, but yeah, just look at the clean sheet odds over on the right hand side of the screen, and then pick the 2 highest ones for the goalies that play on different days. Ferran or Lewandowski. See, I would pick Ferran because I think Ferran Torres is likely going to start, but there was a few people saying that he played 90 minutes and it could be Lewandowski. So it's a tough one to pick who's going to start up front, which is why I think, you know, Yamal and Rafinha are just the best 2 to go for, and go for another striker just to be safe. But if you want to take the gamble, you can always take the punt. Who from Juve will play wing back? I think the most likely one's going to be Cambiaso. I'm not too sure who plays on the left. Locked in? Yes, we are locked in for this week. No -4s here. Lots of Wednesday players, so I'm really just going to be watching the Bayern game tonight. Hoping that Barca can do well, and it's really just Yamal that gets all the goals. But yeah, tomorrow's the big day, I think. Need something good from Bayern this week. And yeah, happy to keep Mendes on the bench, because he'll probably just stay there. Definitely, I would go for Mbappe for Jonathan David, Diego. Mendes or Grimaldo. I would pick Grimaldo because Mendes will probably be in the bench. Joe going crazy with El Cabi for Olympiacos. A huge differential. Won't climb the mini league picking up the same replacements. Totally agree. It's a big differential. I hope it goes well, because I think only people with the big balls have went for El Cabi this week. Is Mbappe guaranteed to be out? It looks extremely likely. Like, we're saying 90+%. We're up to 70 likes, guys. We're just past quarter past. We've got 15 more minutes to the deadline. I need 29 more likes for the 100. I know some of you haven't yet liked the stream, so make sure to jump down. It takes 2 seconds and drop a quick like on the stream. Be very much appreciated. Should I sell Rashford? 100%. Should I sell Rafinha? I do like him as an option. For tomorrow, your captain's going to be Yildiz. I think tomorrow I think so, yeah. I think my captain will be Yildiz tomorrow. Why Timber over Hincapié? Just because I've had Timber this whole time. I think Hincapié is... If I was to pick any defender from Arsenal to buy this week, it probably would be Hincapié. Because I think he's got a very good chance of starting in match day 8. Because I think there'll be a lot of rotation with Arsenal. And I think the likes of Timber could easily be rested. You know, Ben White starting and stuff like that. So if you're wanting someone, obviously Hincapié will start in this match because Arsenal have very little defenders available. Match day 7 is maybe a bit more of an interesting one for him, but if you want to bench him, you can bench him, but I think he's got a good chance of starting in match day 8. At least he'll probably start in 2 of the 3 matches. I don't think you're going to get 3 out of 3 for any of the Arsenal defenders, to be honest. So I suppose if you're going to pick 2, you would want these 2. And match day 7 is probably going to be the one that Hincapié doesn't play in. Because I think if defenders are going to play both of these matches, then they probably miss out on this one. Just due to rotation and them already been through. Vicario or really? I would pick Vicario. Will I put Mendes in tomorrow? Only if I need to. I doubt I will need to because I've only got 4 players playing tonight outfield. So you'll probably just stay on the bench this week. Would I go for Van de Ven or Pacho? On a wild card, I think I would go for Van de Ven. Maybe. It's a difficult one, but Van de Ven's got a very good chance of picking up a lot of points this week. And he's a bit better. He's really good for ball recoveries as well. Pacho last season was really good as well, though, to be fair. Is Mbappe out for a while? There's no time frame on what he's out for, unfortunately. It's really just what we've been told that he's going to miss this week. So I suppose we'll wait and see. Looks as though anyone that's holding a Kanji as well, that he might be available. Well, he's expected to be available tonight. We're up to 88 likes, so we need 12 more likes, guys. We've got, what, 216 people in here. Thank you all so much for turning up. But we are 12 likes away from 100. I think Carl will start this week, yeah. I think match day 7 and 8 he probably won't, though. Wildcard, a Upamecano or Schlotterbeck? Definitely a Upamecano. If I had Rafinha, would I captain him? Not over Kane. But I think it's very close, because he's definitely a very good captaincy option if you want to go for someone differential. Lewandowski was rested at the weekend, thinking only 4% owned instead of Guirassy. I like it if he starts, but obviously it's very difficult to predict that. Hold or sell Emre Can? I would hold. Show us your rank. Here's my rank here. Oh wait, no, that's the matches. Here's my rank here. 18,397. -4 or not to -4? I think a -4 is worth it if it sets your team up for the next 3 weeks. Gordon, Fairman, Saka. Pick 2 or 3. I would go for Gordon and Saka. Dumfries or Mendes? I want to keep one of them. I would keep Mendes. Only got 1 free transfer left and 1 Yildiz, Elisa, everything, yeah. I would take out Guler for Yildiz there, Vieira. I think that would be my pick there. I'd pick Vicario over Rulli. Who would you get instead of Gabriel and Dumfries? Already have Van de Ven, Chalobah and Burn. I'd get Upamecano. Van de Ven or White on a wild card. I totally get that, yeah. Game week 7 is pretty bad for both. I I think I would go for Van de Ven just for the more, secureness in the minutes. Commercial Bulldog. I think Mendes will be in the bench personally. What have we got? 8 minutes. Jonathan David worth it? Is he good? Who did you replace him with? I took out Højlund to buy him. It looks like he's going to be the starting striker for Juventus for the rest of the league stage, and he's only 5.9 million. So he's a nice enabler to try get some of those more expensive midfielders. Would I sell Mbappe for a -4 to captain Kane? 100%. Mbappe and Enzo to David and Yamal. Like it. Why did I transfer Gordon out for Lacey yesterday? That's not terrible either, to be honest. I would have kept Gordon, but at least he's obviously great, and he does play on Tuesday. Timber or Calafiore? I mean they're both basically on par with each other. Timber, if it's for this week, probably Calafiore, because Timber's probably going to play centre back, so you get the more attacking outlet from Calafiore. How reliable are the sources that say Guirassi's not playing? Would you bring him in or David? If I had the money, I'm going to be honest, I would have Guirassy. There is a couple of, people have been saying that they don't want him to start. He might not start because his form's not been great. It's kind of just all, here and there. So obviously do it at your own risk. But personally, I think I would have Guirassy. I would back him to start. Just did -4. Mbappe out for El Cabe. Great differential for this week. We're up to 97 likes now. We've got 6 minutes, so we need 1 like every 2 minutes to hit 100. If you haven't yet liked the stream, please make sure to jump down there and do so. Captain Alvarez or Yamal today? I would go for Yamal. I was very tempted to pick Yamal myself as a captain over Harry Kane, but yeah, I didn't. I have 4 million in the bank. -4. Fermin, Pacquiao, Elise. One of them to Yamal. I think I would do Merino to Yamal there. But it's a tough one if Merino does start at striker. But I think out of those 4, or Fermin to Yamal. I think I would actually do Fermin to Yamal out of those. That way you don't have both the Barca guys. I've got Upamecano, Van de Ven, Chalobah and Burn. Who would be your 5th defender? I'd probably go for an Arsenal defender. I think Timber is one of the better ones. But yeah, I think there's loads of options you can pick in Arsenal defence. Schlotterbeck's also really good from Dortmund. Or go for like a Kalulu from Juventus. Sparta's locked in. 5 minutes to go. I hope everyone's locked in because we don't want anything happening with the website last minute. So if you haven't yet locked in your team, make sure to quickly do so. I think Grimaldo is available, yeah. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. I've not seen anything, so he should be okay. See if there's any last minute news that ruins all our days. Nah. Oh, good. Ten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I've got 5. Oh no, yeah, that's including the goalkeeper. Yeah, 4 players for me tonight. It's not great. It was really tough this week, and I think that's kind of why another reason why I didn't pick the Limitless is because I suppose at the end of the day, if you're on a Limitless, you're probably picking Spurs, Barca, and Bayern in there. But I feel like they're the only three teams that you really would be buying from. So you triple up on Barca, triple up on Bayern, at least that's 6 players, and then you could maybe get 1 Spurs player in there, and then you've got 7. But I feel like most of the good games here are on Wednesday again this week, which is kind of the same as last week as well. But Dortmund, Arsenal, PSG, Juventus. Best of luck, Sam Green Jordan. Rank 7,000 is class for this stage. They should really do something about those injuries. Feels really dumb to lose out in points just because you haven't predicted that Pep will rotate his entire team. I know. I think like obviously when it was the group stages, the 2 transfers was fine. Like you could kind of like predict that. But now that it's literally just a total, free for all with every single match day. Like at least before it was kind of like match day 1 and 6 would be the same, match day 2 and 4 would be this, or match day 2 and 5 would be the same, and 3 and 4 would be the same, just with the 6 matches. You could get past that with the 2 free transfers. Now it's literally just like I feel like everyone should have like 3-4 transfers in order to actually like do what you want to do every single match day, or at least maybe like another chip to be used, like that kind of thing. You think it's okay to do Mbappe to Haaland for a -4? If you feel like Haaland is the guy to go for, then yes. I think Mbappe for a -4 is worth doing. What do you think about Svensson instead of Schlotterbeck? Top 4,000. Congratulations, Henry. I like both of them. They're both obviously good in their own way. Svensson has more of attacking threat. Schlotterbeck more of a DEFCON kind of guy. DEFCON ball recoveries. I'm surprised Baldy hasn't talked about more. I think Baldy is great, but he's a bit injury prone, and obviously we're 7 weeks away from match day 7. There's a very decent chance he picks up an injury by then. That's just what I think, to be honest. Good luck, Noah. Joe, best of luck. 334th in my league. I don't know where I am in my league. I am 501st in my league. David, congratulations. Best of luck. Maybe a chip that allows you to transfer out all injured players. Hospital chip. Oh, that's the game updated. Right, that's us then. All sorted. 3:30. I hope no one missed out. Matt, best of luck. Yeah, I know. I don't like this 3:30 deadline. I think, unfortunately as well, I think this might be the last deadline stream. Because I'm starting a new job in January, and it is going to be until, I'll be working until 5 o'clock at night in the evening. So at least now I can kind of like work about things and obviously have these kind of deadline streams at this time. But yeah, starting a new job in January. Which I don't think I'm going to be available, unfortunately, but I'll obviously try my best to keep updated on Twitter and stuff. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do the live streams, but we are still 7-8 weeks away from that. So we'll see closer to the time. Sold Gabriel and Dumfries to Koundé, and Upamecano's kept Mbappe. That's fine. Thank you, Dinko. Missed the deadline, so wasn't aware about Mbappe. I mean, you can keep him on the bench and then you've got him for Monaco next week. I think that's fine. But yeah, 3:30, man. You can't even go down and watch the game. Like, unless you've got like El Kabi in your team, I feel like there's absolutely zero interest in this Kairat Olympiacos match. Mark, best of luck tonight. You as well. Yeah, I think we'll end it there. Quick hour stream. Hopefully all of your questions get answered, and hopefully you're happy with your team. Henry, best of luck. Yeah, right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for coming out. Yeah. I might even, do you know what, I'm not going to promise anything, but I would love to do a reaction stream like later on tonight. So we'll see. I'm not going to promise anything. But yeah, I'll definitely keep updating on Twitter with how the team is getting on. But yeah, I'm going to leave it all there. Thank you so much for coming out. We ended up with 111 likes at the end, so thank you. If you haven't liked the stream on your way out yet, please make sure to do so. It'll be very, very much appreciated. Lucas, before I go, it looks as though he is definitely out. It's like a 70% chance that he's going to be out, or not 70, like a 90% chance that he's going to be out. So yeah, it looks extremely unlikely. But yeah, that's me. Thank you all. I'll see you in a little bit.
Perfect.